Okay, so now we are going to head into town. That was a little bit jerky left, but it did pretty good. At least it wasn't slow. We're going to head into town so that I can maybe illustrate the difference between how Beta handles for me on sort of normal roads like this versus, see, that was a little reaction to that car turning right there. I have done a couple of drives on Beta since 8.2, and for me in town, it's actually regressed a little bit. It does one thing better, and I've tried this a couple times to see if it was just a fluke or not. It got it 2 out of 3 times, which is when I turn on to Pope. For a while there, the car had regressed to where if there was a car parallel parked adjacent to the entrance of the street that I wanted to turn onto, the car would miss it. And so it got it 2 out of 3 times this time, which is good, but it wasn't consistent. But in virtually every other way, it's actually been a little bit worse. And by that I mean, when I'm on the tighter streets in town, it seems to be very hesitant. I don't know if it's because of all the pedestrians, or if there's just, so much more going on that the car is processing. But I mean, even just basic maneuvers, it's gotten worse at. Like right there, it slowed for that crosswalk. It cannot slow for every single crosswalk in Newport. If it does that, it's going to drive people crazy, me and the cars behind me. So we'll see how it does. I don't know if there's a lot of pedestrians probably this time of day. When I went through on Saturday, it wasn't that great. I wasn't recording, but it wasn't good at all. So we will see how it does today. Interesting that it's having us go this way. I mean, Newport is, there's like 20 ways to get to places. I probably would have gone down Broadway here, but we'll let it do this. It's a little bit of a hesitant right, but it did get it. Might be being a little bit buggy here. My navigation isn't showing properly. I came back. That, I don't know if you could tell in the video, it kind of really kind of decelerates and then keeps going. It's been doing that a lot on this build. through here, and then it kind of took off. So not a totally smooth turn. This intersection up here has messed up, confused my car, I should say. We'll see how we do today. Well, I have a green arrow, so it should just go. Let's see how it does. That was really great. Like, it didn't hesitate at all with the green arrow. It kind of got a little slow there after the maneuver, but then it continued. Okay, so let's see if we follow the dotted line here. There's nobody behind me, so, oh, nope, it didn't do it. Report that. I let it do it because there's not a car anywhere behind me to even see me do it, but it got it, I think, maybe twice on this build, maybe 50-50. It's been getting it. Not a lot of people in town today, so if it was pedestrians or just a lot happening that was messing up the car, hopefully it will perform better. We need to get over here. That's good. Up here is a spot where it sometimes tries to get into the left lane. It's a maps issue, I believe. Yeah, it's got the blinker on. It turned it right off this time. So we're going to turn right here. Okay. That was a pretty decent turn onto Thames Street. So we're doing good so far. Let's see, why don't we go do Washington Square? See what happens. All right, now this Denison, it hasn't been getting. Oh, it doesn't like this pedestrian going the wrong way on a one-way street. Nope, we missed Denison. I'm getting ready for my car to be upset. It did that. So there's the first disengagement today. Pretty good so far. All right, we're going to turn on to Pope. We've got cars parked adjacent. Let's see if it gets it. It's going slow looking for it, which is good. Let's get it. Oh. Didn't get it. Wow, this is like not good. So it didn't like that. It doesn't like it when, all right, let's see if we get South Baptist. Okay, we got that okay. Yeah, it doesn't like it when it's off the navigation and it's recalculating. That's what it does when it's sort of, I guess, the beta crashes maybe, or it just wants us to take over because it's so confused. Okay, so this is an instance where we need to creep. It has not been doing very well with this. Okay, that was better. I gave it a little press here because it was being slow and there was a car eventually coming and I looked kind of silly, so I gave it a little push. But that was encouraging. Discouraging that it's not getting those turns. Encouraging that it did a really good job creeping there where it hadn't been doing very well the last time that I came down this street. good job today in town, I have to say. Now, it should not drive through here, and it is. It drove through that parking space. This is one thing that I will be so happy when it's addressed is, I don't know if it's a maps thing or what, but the car does not recognize when it's on a one-way street. And so, at least on this street, there are lines marking off the parallel parking spaces. But in most of the streets in the old part of town, those lines are not there. And so, if there are no cars parked there, my car will try to drive down the, parking space side of the road, basically. And, it'll swerve in and out of open parking spaces if there's enough of a gap, and it's incorrect. It's not how you drive down a one-way street. It's not how a human drives. I don't usually let it do it anymore because, I want the disengagement to register as an issue, but I'll be really happy when they get that fixed, because that's a lot of my driving and it's a little annoying. It's kind of slow here coming up on this stop sign. I'm going to disengage. That's my first disengagement. There's cars behind me. I didn't want to, be, that was my first disengagement in town, I should say. I didn't want to be annoying to the cars behind me. I came through Washington Square once or twice before already without recording, and it didn't do the greatest. It seems to have actually regressed a little. We'll see how we do today. Okay, that was incorrect. I don't know if I'm going to get to show you guys Washington Square because I had to disengage. Okay, so here we go. Still stopping at this crosswalk. Yeah, it's very confused through here. I'll report it again and hope that I don't know what that is, if it's a maps issue or if there's something that the car is seeing with that crosswalk that's messing it up. It's also doesn't know what to do through here a lot of times. I think because there aren't any lane markings. See how it's like kind of weaving around, like it doesn't know what side of the road it's allowed to be on. Yeah, it shouldn't be stopping here. This is what I mean about in town. There's nobody behind me, so yeah, it just doesn't want to turn here. It just stopped. And the projected path showed it going there. So, yeah, I don't know. It didn't like that at all. So, not the best in town.